Hey guys, it's SummerShadow001, back at it again with the video games, and back at it again with Destiny 2, and this is the part 2 to that promise where I said that was going to be a double upload, and I'm sorry that didn't work out. I actually had something come up in the day, so I wasn't able to record and upload the second part of the double video that I was going to do. We already went over the first part, so if you want to learn about that, go back to that video. That is the Season of the Hunt review. This video is going to be my first impressions on Season of the Chosen. And here's what I'm going to say about Season of the Chosen. It's solid. It's incredibly solid. At least so far. I guess what we'll start out with first, of course, is the seasonal activity, that being Battlegrounds. I think it's fun, it's interesting, it's definitely hectic, and it can get hard, especially if you're in the playlist version. And right now, we only launched with two. One on Europa and one on Nessus, but we will be getting more. I believe we're getting one more tomorrow. And then the week after, we're going to be getting another. So I am very interested. I believe the next one's going to be on the Cosmodrome. But I like it. It's fun. It's a bit of a horde mode type situation. I like that it's match made and that it's not a public event. I do appreciate that. We are kind of sick to death of those public event style seasonal activities. It has, to me, a more rewarding gameplay loop, a more engaging gameplay loop. That and the Hammer of Proving, which I find is really cool. Very interesting idea, very similar to the lure, but I'd say implemented a ton better. And the fact that I mentioned in part 1 with the lure was that made you play core activities in order to even get charges to do your activity. With Battlegrounds, you could do the activity regardless, but if you want extra loot, you can take your Hammer of Proving and you can slot it with I guess a rune style type thing, kind of like what you had with the Chalice of Opulence back in the Penumbra season, or Season of Opulence, back in Forsaken. And you do need a currency for it, which of course is the Cabal Gold. And you can get Cabal Gold from your core activities, but you can also get them from public events. You can get them from sources in the world as well, which is much appreciated. I'm glad that you're not forced to do strikes, crucible, and gambit. It's your choice. Strikes are actually the most efficient, I believe, next to public events. So it's very, very, very cool. And the fact that you're able to still play the activity regardless is also very good. I say the one negative that I have is it is a little bit repetitive in the fact that you have to blow up the fuel cells, but that's okay. It's fine. It could differ when we get more of these Battlegrounds. I will say the first day on its own was a ton of content was released, not just with the two Battlegrounds right off rip, but the fact that we had two new strikes that came out, which I will get to in a second, and the fact that we had our third aspect quest become available, which was very interesting and very fun. I liked that. And I'm not going to get into which aspect is better. I don't really care in that respect. But it was fun. It was something interesting, something new. And it was just, this whole first week has been just a well of content, and hopefully they can keep this momentum up for the rest of the season, because the season does run a little longer than seasons typically do. This will be running until May, and normally they run from March, and that's obviously because of the delay that Beyond Light had with it being delayed 2 months. All of the seasons have now been pushed back as well. So I find that interesting, and I find it fun so far. So hopefully it can maintain this content throughout the few months that the season will be running. I guess we should get the season pass weapon, TQ's Divination. honestly, I don't like it, and I heard it's way better when it has the catalyst. But honestly, I didn't like it. I still don't like it. I'm working on getting the catalyst right now. I don't have it quite yet. The Guardian kills are proving very challenging for some reason, and I have no idea why. I'm not sure if it's just because I'm bad or if it's the bow itself. But it's interesting. It's an interesting idea for an exotic. Again, we'll have to see later on down the line. Of course, we're going to be getting another new exotic with the Redacted quest, which I believe now is official, according to leaks, that it is tied to that secret mission that we saw in the trailer with the Cabal ship in the darkness there out in the space. Is now pretty much confirmed at this point that that is the quest that has part of it. Um, but yeah, I find it interesting, and we're gonna get to the strikes. And I know the two new strikes that we have are two returning ones from the Cosmodrome. But I will say, holy crap, is it so much fun! Especially so, Fallen Saber, I believe, has not been released yet, unless if it's in the Grandmaster Nightfalls list. Um, but I did play Devil's Lair, which is Sepix Prime, and I had an absolute blast. I haven't had so much fun in a strike in so long. And I think the reason why, and I believe Dado said this the best with his video, is the fact that the enemy density was so much more prevalent, and I think it made it more hectic and more fun. It gave it more of a rush. And I believe nostalgia might have a part to play, but honestly, I think strikes in this sort of style would translate better in Destiny 2, with it being more densely compacted enemies, more challenge in that respect. Because I remember Devil's Lair being really fun, and this was incredibly fun. I had just a great time. The boss battle is different enough to where it's not just like full on copy. I don't really know the story of the strike, because I do know that the Disgraced has a different story, and the fact that it's a different thing, which is like kind of the retread of the Omnigul. As far as the Sepix thing, I don't know if they just resurrected Sepix again without Siva. I have no idea, or they have a new Sepix. I don't know if they ever mentioned that. I don't know if they're going to mention that with the Fallen Saber strike when that comes out. I feel like that'll be very interesting as well, because that was also a very fun strike, especially in that final boss battle, being stuck in that tiny room. I think it'll be a very, very fun time. And hopefully they do more strikes like this, not just old strikes, but strikes with that kind of level of, like, that D1 level of density and just player engagement. I think it would be great in the long run. And hopefully with this new strike that's coming, the Proving Grounds strike that we'll be getting way down the line, I think not until like late March, I think it'll be fun. I am very interested. I'm very happy to see what will become of it. So those are my first impressions of, or actually, no, I am forgetting one more thing. The helm is cool. I would say really the only negative I have about the helm is that I can't just go to the tower and walk in. It's its own separate area, which I kind of don't like. I feel like it kind of breaks up the flow of the tower. But it's cool. I like that the prismatic recaster is there. I find that interesting. The Crow is also there with his new design. I find that very interesting as well. Honestly, I can't wait to see how things will shake out with the helm. Hopefully there'll be like more involvement and stuff like that. I kind of want to see where it goes, because honestly it kind of reminds me of Season of the Worthy a bit, in the fact that you have this area that you can go to upgrade stuff, and that's really it. It reminds me of those Rasputin bunkers a little bit, but again, it's still very early. We don't really know what could come of that, if it could get better. But I think the helm is really cool. I like the interesting kind of new area. And of course, we'll see later on with the season how things shake out. But so far, they've done a good job. They started out incredibly solid, and it's just a matter of keeping that momentum going throughout these next couple of months. Anyway, guys, that's it. That's the end of this part, this second part. So that's it. That's how we feel. How do you guys feel about Season of the Chosen? Feel free to let me know in the comments down below. But anyway, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and apagando las luces.